Philippa Matthewson, Head Training, Learning and Development, Barclays. Welcome, Philippa.
Thank you.
Philippa, if you could tell us what you think is the role of English as a global language.
Well, the role of English as a global language to my company at Barclays Shared Services is very important. We actually deal with customers currently from the UK. So as an employer, if we don't employ people who speak English or can communicate in English, then we simply wouldn't be able to do business. Taking it beyond that, with English becoming the global language right across the world, I think it's extremely important, and it's going to become increasingly difficult for companies to do business if they don't have an English-speaking population.
Could English pose a threat or a risk to other languages in countries such as India and Sri Lanka?
Yes, I think it could. I think traditionally India over the years has become obviously very popular within the offshoring world, and because obviously the English is very important, and because that has been the main strength of India for people offshoring here, then obviously the demand is English. Until I think there is a demand for other languages, so French, Spanish, German, whatever it may be, then I think India will stay with English and it will never move out of that niche market that it has formed for itself.
I mean, from the perspective of your organization, do you advocate the use of any sort of standard English, or are you okay with the variety of ways in which English is spoken and used?
Well, to us, the most important thing is a neutral English speaking, and we work very closely with the British Council in the work that we do within that space. So, for example, we employ people for our voice processes against the Common European Framework, and that has become extremely important to us. And we've created a level of voice in the English language that we expect as a minimum to employ people at in order to work in our English-speaking voice processes. In addition to that, we're working very closely with British Council again within our voice and accent training to uplift the voice capability even further, and therefore obviously working with companies like British Council is very important to us to ensure that we're not, for want of a better word, marking our own homework. If we're working with a recognised body in the English language, then we're always going to maintain equality. If we just work to our own standards, then those standards over time will naturally decline.
What are your personal and professional expectations out of the English for Progress Third Policy Dialogue?
My professional expectations is actually from an education point of view. Obviously, being British, I'm not exposed to the Indian language through the education system or through the schools. So far the debates and what I have actually heard have been extremely interesting to me, and has actually given me a few ideas on how I can work with the education system in order to actually improve the quality of English from a corporate point of view. From a personal point of view, it's great to meet people. That's what all these events are about. It's about networking, it's about meeting people that you may never get the opportunity to meet in other situations. We all have extremely busy lives, and unless we come to conferences like this, for example, I've met people from other industries that I would never have had the opportunity to do so. And at a personal level, we're already talking about forming some little networking groups on how we can actually work together. We may not be in the same industry, but we all have communication and English as a common thread through all of our industries. And it would be great to not just rely on conferences like this, but to be able to work outside of these together as corporate industries in actually improving English and improving those communication skills.
Thank you very much. We were in conversation with Philippa Matthewson, Head Training, Learning and Development of Barclays.
Thank you.
Thanks, Philippa.